and gents, let's get moving. So let's get our best posture possible, just anchoring our weight through the heels, relaxing the knees and being as tall as we can be. Pulling up through the top of the head, slight nodding with the chin and really lengthening through the back of the neck. As you turn your palms in towards your thighs, a little squeeze into the shoulder blades. We're going to take a little stride forward and lift the arms and then step back. Opposite leg steps forward and then we step back. As we step forward, a little soft bend in that front knee. Put the weight into the heel and then push out the heel as you go back. Now as you lift the arms, try not to let the ribs flare so you're not arching the back as you lift the arms. You're trying to maintain that neutral spine. Too early, that dog has not been the same since you run out of fish sticks, I'm telling you. And then from here, we're going to start taking the arms gently over to the side. So a side bend. Like you've got a big beach ball, we're going to hold a theme, and you're throwing it over your shoulder. Your arms don't go any further than your face, don't let the arms go past your shoulders. And still think about keeping the front of the ribs gently drawn down. Let your eye gaze follow your hands, so it starts to bring that extension through the neck and through the spine. And once more each side. And then we're going to step out to the side. Hands are going to lift. And we're going to take a twist, and then we're going to step back in. So looking for rotation through the spine, morning Jenna. Keeping the length in the spine with the head drawn up towards the ceiling. And let's start to think about the left foot. Keep pressing the left foot down into the floor so it stays flat and you're not rolling in on your ankle. The more you press down to the outside of your left foot and keep the foot flat, the more stretch we're going to feel in the left inner thigh, the more stability that creates for our pelvis as we rotate. Give me two more here. Shoulders relax as the arms lift and holding here at the side. Straightening your right leg and then come into your side bends. So we're going to start to lift the left hip up. Still pressing down nice and even through both feet. And your hand wants to roughly slide towards the outside of the knee. Feel the elbow pulling up to the ceiling. And then let the arm just lift a tiny bit higher. And as you're starting to lift the arm higher, keep stretching away through your fingertips and pushing away through your left hip at the same time. Eye gaze staying forwards for 3. Breathe out into the tip and once more. Same leg, we're going to take it into the hamstrings. So step in and then stride forward and place that back foot down, feet to hip distance. Both legs are straight and just square the hips up first. Roll the shoulders back and lift your chest and take a little hip hinge. So try not to change the alignment of the spine. So we're using our core to keep our spine in neutral. And as we allow ourselves to tip forward, we start thinking about lifting our right buttock gently up towards the ceiling. That you're pulling it away from your right heel. Still checking in that left hip isn't turning out to the side as you tip forward. So a little squeeze that left buttock to keep the hips aligned. Keep the rib cage ever so slightly lifted as you come forward. So again, that's going to help us keep a neutral position through the spine. Once more here. And then stepping back in. Feet on the hips and then out to the left. So hands lift but shoulders drop. We turn. We pull up tall. We breathe. Breathing is always the hard bit. Breath in through your nose. Breathe out through the mouth. As you bring the hands back down towards your thighs, feel that comes from pulling the shoulder blades gently towards each other. So we're also just starting to work up the muscles through the upper back. Thinking about our chest staying up and lifted. And as we turn, little squeeze the bottom so the hips stay nice and square to the front. Again, thinking about that right foot this time, keeping that pressed down and flat. And 2 more here. Staying across this time. So once you've done your twist, square back to the front, straighten your left leg, and then gently tip to the side. Again, try not to let the spine arch down. Try and keep the head lifted and the shoulders open. So we're keeping that length into the spine as we tip, and we're not bending down through that back. Elbow starts to reach up to the ceiling. Your right hip, starts to lift up to the ceiling. And your left hand to the outside of the knee. Then you can start to lift that left arm a little further. Try and breathe out as you ease into that nice stretch. In through the nose as you rise, and then out through the mouth as you lift. Out breath just helps the muscles to relax a little more as we hinge. And twice more. That always feels good. Right, from here, coming back into centre, left foot strides forward, feet stay hip distance. And again, we've got both feet flat, square the hips, hands back, and roll the shoulders back. Try and get those shoulders gently drawn back and down as you hinge forwards. So again, we're getting the hinge coming from the hips. We're starting to use our core and be aware of how long we can keep our spine. Try not to look forwards as you tip. Keep the chin slightly nodded in. So we're keeping the crown of the head gently drawing forwards as we push the bottom back, which creates a little bit more length and release down the back of your body. Try and breathe out as you tip forwards. Little breath as you rise, and your last one here. And then we can hold and step our feet back into centre. From there, taking your feet a little bit wider than your hips, opening the knees up and tucking your bottom. Let's come into our squats. Reach the arms forward and then just pull the shoulder blades back. Breathe in as you sit into the hips and breathe out to rise. Just take time to make sure the knees don't drop in as you squat. Keep them open from the hips, and then you can add in a heel raise as you rise. Now again, you can keep the hands coming just below your shoulders, or you can let the arms come a little higher. Squeeze your thighs as you rise, and then squeeze the bottom at the top. So your hips push forward underneath your shoulders. And again, we've got that nice alignment at the top. Again, as we sit back into our squat, we're still trying to keep our back in neutral position. It's so tempting to bend the back rather than the legs. Trying to sit into the hips. And we've got all the big powerful muscles through the back of the body working to drive us forward. 2 to go here. And then into your very last one. And hold. Heels down. Bring the feet back to hip distance. Let's lunge. Right leg. As you lunge back, lift the arms, sink the knee and tuck your tailbone, and then tip forward and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Breathe in, bend the back knee in a rush. Breathe out, squeeze shoulder blades and hands just level with your hips. Palms face each other here, and then your palms face the floor here. Your chin is tucked in, so you're looking directly to the front, and as you tip forward, you're looking down towards the ground. If it feels too much lifting that back leg, keep the back foot lightly down, but do feel that you're transferring your weight into your front heel as you come forward. Try avoid letting the weight go right into the toes. Press through the heel, breathe in, bend the back knee, tuck your tailbone for the stretch here, and then breathe out to hinge. One more time. Hold in. Hold here, draw the belly in, and just lower the back leg and lift. Soft bend in that front knee. Right leg straight, so you squeeze the front of the thigh. And as you're lifting your leg, try and get your toes pointed down to the floor. For 4, squeeze the bottom to lift. For 3, 2, and then your last one. And you may step in. And change legs. Feet hip distance. Excuse me. And as you stride back, left knee bends, tailbone tucks under. I'm not laughing, sorry. I'm trying not to go off. Dip forward and squeeze into the shoulder blades. Think about how long your spine is here, and try and keep that lengthened feeling through the spine here. Remember, you can keep that back foot light on the floor, and from here, you can just hinge forward from the hips. Try not to lock out this front knee, whether you rise or whether you keep the foot down. Sink and tuck your tailbone, so feel the stretch into the hip flexor. You're pulling the knee down to the floor, but you're stretching your middle finger up towards the ceiling. And that's going to bring more release and stretch into your hips. Oh, definitely what I need today. Breathe in. And brace with the core as you hinge forwards. And twice more here. No rush, take time to stretch. Take time to find your balance. I gaze forward here. Shoulder blades squeeze together. We hold. The standing knee still soft. Back leg lowers and then lifts. Try to be aware that as you're lifting your leg, you're not moving your spine. So you're drawing your belly in. And when we lift, we then lift from the hip. We're drawing the belly button to the spine to maintain our neutral position. We've got a little squeeze into the shoulder blades. 4, 3, 2, and your last one, and step together. Warmed up? I am. Right, let's have 2 ways this morning. I'm certainly warmed up. Excuse me. So feet just outside the hips, squats and lunges. So stay with the right leg. We're going to come into a squat. We're going to curl and sink into a lunge, and then come forward and back to your squat. So your shoulders above your hips as you lunge, and then hands just down by your thighs as you squat. Tuck your tailbone here, and sit deep into the hips here. And always feel that when you're squatting, your hips are moving back and down. Try not to look forward, keep the chin nodded in. If we look forward, it's more tempting to arch into that lower back. Breathe in, breathe out into your squat. Every time you rise, push out your left heel. Again, push out your left heel. Sink, drive forwards. 2 to go. Breathing in, out. One more time. And then holding here. Come back up tall, feet back under hips, and we're going to come into our mat raises. Working rotation through the spine, stability through our hips, and a little bit of strength work through our shoulders. So pressing through both heels. Relax the knees a little. Turn the head and turn into your shoulders. Breathe in as the weights come down, breathe out to lift. So in to prepare, out to lift. In through the nose, and as you're turning your upper body, you're trying not to let the hips turn. So strong squeeze through your glutes the whole way through. Once more on each side. Last one to your left, and then let's come back to our squats. Left leg leading, so feet just a little wider. Open the knees, 1 squat, 1 bicep curl, or a double bicep curl. Sit into the squat, so feet wide here, hip distance as you stride back. Now when you stride back, you might find your right knee wants to drop in, so keep this right knee open from the hip. So getting more connection, more stability through that right leg. And again, no rush. Keep it controlled. So you're very aware of your alignments throughout each movement. To get into the hip flexors, tuck your tailbone here. Still aiming to find a mild stretch down the front of your left thigh as you sink. Nice and long through the neck. A little brace to that core. Starting to feel that right quad warming up. So keep pushing out of your right heel. That's what's going to keep the work in that right thigh. So you can go a little bit longer into your lunge, maybe a tiny bit wider into your squat. Just makes the thigh work a little harder. 2 to go. Chest up, core braced. Once more, and then hold here. Stand tall. Bring your feet back in, back to the shoulders. This time elbows start at 90 degrees. Shoulders roll back. We're going to open, then we rotate. Palms down and back to ribs. So we open, turn knuckles to ceiling, to the front and lower. So when you lift the arms, just below shoulder level. And keeping the elbows at that height as you rotate up, down, and then release. When you rotate, try not to lean into the back. So that brace through the abdominals. Your shoulder blades squeeze down into the back of the rib cage. And again, we avoid any sway through the spine. So it's really concentrated around our shoulders, working through our rotator muscles of that shoulder joint. And there's just 2 left. 2 is enough. Breathe out, turn. Take a breath in and release. One last time. And then relax. Bring the hands all the way down and give the shoulders a little release. Right, from here, out to the side. So we're going to step across, hold the weights, take a press, and step in and hold. To shoulders, so shoulders are above hips, extend the arms, back into centre. Option, add your knee lift. And if you don't want to go into the knee lift, just bring the foot back to the floor. We are going to add in triceps. So the next time you hold here, foot up or down, we're going to squeeze the arms back straight with the leg and then come back to our curl, press, back to your thighs. Squeeze the arms back and hinge forwards, come to your shoulders and out into your side lunge. Chest up high, squeeze back, come to chest and into your squat. Breathe in. I forgot the press, well done. Breathe out, extend. And again, sit back into the hips, hold and press. That's better. And then extend. 2 more on this side. Brace your core. Pull it to shoulders. Extend the arms. 1 more time. Feel the balance. Then the extension. Come forward and go back again. For 5, straight arms. For 4. Option, tap the foot forward and back. You're still feeling that hinge from your hips. 2 to go. And your last one. And settle both hands back to your thighs. Release the shoulders, relax them because they feel tired. And let's just ease the side bends. So a little squeeze of your glutes to stabilise your hips. Don't let the head come forward. See how far you can comfortably reach the hands towards the knees while keeping your shoulder blades squeezed together and keeping your ears directly in line with the shoulders. Weights even through both heels. Again, glutes are on, so a little squeeze of your glutes to stabilise your hips. And try to be aware that as you move from side to side, you're keeping the weight even through the feet and the hips still. So it all nicely stays in our waist. And once more, each side. And then we're going to come back to our side lunges with our bicep curls and our shoulder press. So from here to your left, curl and hold, belly's braced, press, and then back to your thighs. Again, curl, press to your thighs. Breathe. In, out, in, out. Add the knee lift if you want to, or just tap lightly on the foot. Now, as we come out of the press here, hold the weights in front of your shoulders and then go into your tricep kickback. Stride, press to your shoulders, pull, and then press. Stride across, pull up, keep the standing knee soft. The reason why I'm keeping more bend in the elbows here is then when it's working with the triceps, we really focus on straightening into the back of the arms. And again, just working at your own pace. So it's not about how many we do, it's how well we do them. How much control we can keep throughout the movements. Core nice and strong. Head up to ceiling. Keep the length in the spine as you tip. And as you tip forward, push your hips slightly back here. So that takes the work into your glutes. Lift the chest, press, pull up tall, extend. Triceps are definitely working now. Let's do one more combination here. And then we're going to stay with the tricep press. So we hold at the top, tap the foot if you prefer, come to the shoulders, maybe challenge yourself by keeping the foot just an inch or two off the floor, squeeze into the back of the arm, 3 to go, breathe out so you can engage your core as you hinge forward, and your last one. And then bring both weights to shoulders and set your feet down. Feet down, feet down. Bring then the weights to the thighs, sit your hips back, and let's come into our rear deltoid rows. So the elbows back to a slight diagonal, not straight out to the side, to a slight diagonal position. So you're drawing a narrow V at the bottom, weights come wide at the top, and the weights just come towards the inside of your thighs or your knees. If you want to sit a little deeper, the weight's going to come more to the inside of the knees. If you're a little higher, it'll come towards the inside of the thighs. But do try, stick out your bottom, draw in with your belly, and on every pull, let the arms feel heavy and pull your shoulder blades together. Now, as you lower the weight, try and keep that connection between your shoulder blades, so the shoulders don't drop down. If those shoulders drop, look how the back's rounded. Try and keep bringing the shoulders back to here each time. Squeeze the shoulder blades, hold them, squeeze them, hold them. Breathe. Chest slightly lifted, tummy drawn in, and then single arm flies. So keeping the weight even in both heels. Again, sticking the bottom out a little. That one weight almost rests on the thigh as the opposite arm lifts. So just squeezing out a single shoulder blade in towards the spine. Keeping the elbow soft. And trying not to let your body sway as you lift the weight. So we don't want the knees to roll in. We want to keep the knees open from the hips. Gives us more engagement through our outer thighs. Chest again high and chin in, so your neck's nice and long. Last time to your left. And then you can hold and you can rise and give the shoulders a little roll. Right, so let's try our single leg squats. Just for our last bit of balance. So your right leg is forward. Hands down by your thighs and roll both shoulders back. We're going to sit into our squat first, and then we're going to alternate bicep curls. 2 on each side, both hands come down and then push forwards. So chest open. 1, one more on each side, weight to thigh and push out the heel. So on our core on here, our chest open, nice and long all the way through the back of the body, both hands come down and you drive forwards. The more we start to pull back into our hips, the more you're going to feel your left thigh working. Weight down and then drive up. Now try to make sure those shoulders don't roll forward. So we're still keeping that bit of engagement through our upper back. 4 more times. Now glue your elbows in, right towards your ribs. Feel the weights back in your left heel and push out of your left heel. Keep drawing away through the crown of the head. So you can push the bottom just a little further back and then drive forwards. 2 to go, I think. I've no excuse this week. I'm not taking a painkiller, so I should be able to count. But I've not had any excuse the last 6 years, really, have I? One more time. Shoulder blades, feel that strong connection through the upper back. Back down towards the hip and drive your hips forward. Take your right leg, back. Let's come into our deadlift. So lock the shoulders, lengthen your spine and soften your front knee. We're just going to do a single leg deadlift and we rise. What we don't want to do is let those shoulders on the back collapse. Imagine the back of your body like a plank of wood. Trying to keep it nice and straight, so as the chest comes forward, the leg naturally lifts in line with the hip, hinging from the hip and pushing out the heel. Breathing in to hinge forward. Breathe out, press through the heel to rise. In through the nose, out through the mouth. If those shoulders are coming forward, remember that upper back's rounding. So we need to keep retracting and holding those shoulder blades together to help keep our upper body alignment. Just 2 more. So we're starting to find stability on the standing leg as well as strength with the last exercise. And then hold and step in. Your left leg rests, comes forward. We square the hips. You lift your left heel so you're resting lightly on the ball of the foot. Pull the shoulder blades in, sit back. Lift one arm, alternate the curls. Hands come down and you drive your hips forward. So we sit back and come up for 4, 3, 2, 1, hand down, hips forward. Core on, chest up, 4, 3, go slowly so you're aware that as you're moving the arms, you're not changing the position of your spine. You're pulling the bottom, maybe a little bit further back. Belly button's drawn towards the spine to support your lower back. And again, the more we pull back into our hips, the more connection we feel down the front of the thigh. And that's your quad muscles stabilising, holding you in this position, and then working to push you out of that position. That's where we get a little extra burn. Try not to let your body rock from side to side as you curl and alternate the arms. Sometimes you might almost feel everything wants to sway with the arms. So nice and slow so you can be aware of the trunk of the body staying still. The hips staying in position. 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 to go. That's definitely warming up that right quad. 4, 3, 2, 1. Push out the heel. And definitely just one left. That's what my thigh's telling me anyway. Get the chest high, the neck long. And drive up. Take, when you've got your balance, your left leg back. So it's a straight leg, slight hinge forward. Again, just little seesaws, pull the shoulder blades together. And focus on trying to hold the shoulder blades together as you hinge. Even if it means you're just coming to here. You're going to still feel the challenge through your hamstrings and your glutes on your standing leg, but more importantly, keeping and being able to hold that connection to your upper back. So we're not changing the position of the spine, no matter how far we decide to come forwards. You might find your right knee wanting to roll in. Try and keep the knee slightly open from the hip. Switch on a few more muscles around that hip joint. Feel the in-breath as you hinge forward, don't forget the shoulder blades, hold them together, and then breathe out on the rise. 2 left. No rush. That's what makes everything work longer and definitely harder. Rest your foot down, have a lie down. Let's come on to our backs when you're ready. My sweaty hands. the most I've sweated for a week. Right, when you're ready, let's work back into the chest. I feel like I've done enough for the chest lately. So looking at working into the chest, we want to look at also opening this part of the shoulders. So if the shoulders are up here when we do chest work, we're not getting the stretch here that we need. So we need to try and make sure, even when we're lying down, those shoulders are away from our ears and the weights are in line with the mid-chest, not coming up by the shoulders. So grab both your weights when you're ready. Another little way your body cheats is to lock out its elbow. So I need to focus on keeping a soft, relaxed elbow. So when we open the arm, it's coming from the shoulder and you're not hyperextending your elbow and your wrist. So once you're here, your wrists are straight, your elbows are relaxed and your shoulders away from the ears. Draw the front of the ribs ever so slightly down, and then check as you're opening the arms, you've not changed the angle of the elbow or the wrist. So I want you to feel that you're physically opening across the front of your shoulder joint. Check the weights are in line with the middle of the rib cage, but not come up in line with your head or your shoulders. And that way, you're still in a position where you can focus on drawing the shoulders into the back of the rib cage. And as we draw back into the shoulders, again, that's connecting into our postural muscles through our upper back. Nice and slow, breathe in as you open, breathe out to close. Now just think about your ribs next. Softly draw the front of the ribs down towards the hips. And as you open the arms, try not to let the rib cage flare. Just go with one more here. We're going to come into single arms next. So just your right arm first. We're going to alternate. So breathe in, open your right arm, elbow still bent, wrist is still straight. Then your left arm, breathing in to open. Think about the trunk of your body. Once you're set here, as you open the arm, you don't want to feel your body weight shifting to the right. As you open your left arm, you don't want the body weight shifting to the left. And this is where we're starting to use our core to keep our body set in its position. If you feel your weight starting to shift to the side, don't take the arm as far, or gently engage your core more by drawing the belly button to the spine, but not pressing the lower back into the ground. We're in a neutral, you've got that pocket of air under the lower back. Right arm, left leg. Slide the leg away to a hover and hold. Check that lower back's down, ribs are held, and then place your foot lightly on an eggshell. Left arm, right leg hold, draw the belly button down the ribs, and then close. So I want you to feel that each time you move the arm and the leg, your first focus is what's happening in the middle. Not how far you can take the leg or how wide you can keep the arm, but how still you're keeping your spine. And then over time, the more we get stronger through our core to stabilise the ribs and the hips and the spine, the more we build strength in the correct muscles in the chest and shoulders as we're moving. So it's always the foundation first, the midsection. Breathe in as you open, and then breathe out to close. Just one more on each side. Try and keep the feet light as they come back into centre. And then we hold. We now bring the knees up above the hips. As the knees come above the hips, make sure they're not coming over your belly or your chest. So we need to push the knees forward, and if the feet have dropped, lift up your shins so the knees are at 90. Shoulders back away from the ears. Tilt the pelvis slightly back so they've got a soft imprint. Right arm and left leg. We come into a toe tap, but we're not trying to get the toe all the way to the floor, because you'll probably find the lower back will lift off the ground. So we're trying to move as far as we comfortably can from the hip joint, and that's what's going to challenge your lower abdominals to stabilise your pelvis. It's so tempting just to drop the foot. So I don't want that foot getting any closer to the bottom. I want you to reach slightly forward with the toes. Breathe in as you ease down and out on the lift. Chin again nodded in. Gently draw the shoulder blades down to the back of the ribs. Soft tilt back with the pelvis, so you're holding that imprint. Breathe in with control. Breathe out with force. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Give me 2 more on each side. As much as we're moving the arms and legs, our biggest focus, which you should be feeling about now, is your core. Last one here. And then hold. Bring the feet down, bring the legs down. Just circle your shoulders. Take them back over the head, the hands back over the head, palms up, and then circle down towards your hips. Now when you take the arms back, try and lower the hands towards the floor. If you don't quite get there, it's fine. And drag the back of the hands along the ground. Now you might find that one hand comes lower than the other. Now the one that's not coming as low, that's the shoulder that'll be a little bit tighter. And that sometimes tends to be our dominant side, normally our right, unless you're left-handed. We're going to add a little crunch from here. Let the arms go back. Start to draw the shoulders and the ribs down and nodding your chin and reach forwards. Chin in as you roll back, keeping the rib cage down. Open the arms. As the hands come past your mid-chest, that's when you start to lift the head and the shoulders. Because what's happening is the arms draw down, it starts to pull the rib cage down, which starts getting into our upper abdominals, which assists us on the lift. And then keeping the chin in as you roll back. Try not to look up towards the ceiling. Nodding the chin, so as you rise, you're looking towards your thighs, and then nod your chin in as you roll back. Arms first. Arms are going to help you to come into that lift. So draw down the shoulder blades, reach to the heels, and give me one more circle here. Feel the ribs connect, then the chin nods in, we hold, palms face up. Shoulders are rolling back and down. I'm going to take a little pulse forwards. Press the tailbone into the ground and feel each pulse doesn't come from your head trying to pull backwards and forwards. Just feel it's coming from the rib cage. Get the feeling you're trying to just pull the ribs towards the hips. So the neck's really relaxed, there's no tension in the neck. Just nod the chin in, relax the neck, pull from the upper abdominals. And it's that feeling again that you get your ribs just a little closer towards your hips for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then release all the way down. Stretch out the arms and stretch out your legs. So fully extending the arms, let the ribs ease away from the hips. Trying to make the arms a little bit longer, and then the legs a little bit longer. And get a nice well-deserved stretch through that midsection. Right, let's finish with a little plank today. Grab your knees, tuck in your chin, take a roll up, and then a roll over. So when we come into a straight arm plank, if you struggle on your wrist, feel free to do this from your elbows. If you're okay on your wrists, hands are shoulder width. Spreading the hands, so your fingers spread, your thumbs are about a 3-inch apart. And that should help you roughly to find that shoulder alignment here. Now I don't want the hips back behind the heels. Push your head forward past your fingertips. Lift your belly gently towards the back so you're holding your neutral spine and tuck under your toes. Now you might feel just pushing your head a little further forward is enough and you feel your core switch on and you're happy holding there. If you want to go a little further, keeping the elbows soft but the shoulders set. Push your heels back. Let the knees come down. Push back with the heels so the legs are straight. Notice that as you bring the knees down, you're not letting your hips drop. So the hips staying kind of level with the shoulders. You push back with the heels, squeeze your thighs, and then breathe in to lower the knees. Out on the push back, into release. Out and push, into release. 3 to go. Breathe in as the knees come down. Breathe out, squeeze the thighs. Slow breath in. Breathe out, push. Knees down, hips back. Stretch out the arms, walk your fingers forward, press your fingertips down. Walk your right hand a little further forwards. Gently turn your chest and your shoulders to the left. So your left arm lifts a little and you're trying to peek underneath your left arm. You're going to then press the right hand a little further into the ground and almost pull your shoulder back while pressing your fingers into the floor. And that should give you a nice stretch around your shoulder. And then ease back to centre, relax the arms, sway your shoulders. Walk your left hand forwards, press the fingers down so you're gripping the floor. And then lift your right elbow a little and try and peek underneath your right arm. And you'll feel that as you try and turn, just not your head but your rib cage, you should feel more stretch around than your left shoulder. Press into the floor and almost try and pull the hips, the shoulder back while keeping your hand pressed into the floor. And then we ease back in to centre. We come forwards, tuck under your toes, hands just underneath your shoulders. Calves, take your right leg back. Toes facing forward, so just glance the foot. Then try and encourage your heel back to the floor. And then gently draw your rib cage, your chest forward, keep lifting up your ribs, press into the hands. Draw the shoulder blades down to the back of the ribs. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, so you can encourage the heel just a little bit further back, not to the point of pain, just the feeling of stretching the calf. And then see if you can lift your rib cage, your breastbone just a little higher away from the floor. And that helps to gently, maybe not so gently, increase the calf stretch. Bring your knee in when you're ready. Left leg. So strike back onto a straight leg, onto the ball of your foot. Square the shoulders and your hips. Then gently press back towards the heel. Press into the heels of the hands. And start to gently bring your rib cage forwards. So you just open that little bit of space between the front of your ribs and your hips. Then see if you can gently encourage the heel a little further back. Press the hands into the floor. Lift your heart a little higher. Keep pressing back into the heel. And then bring your knee forward, back underneath of your hip. Take a cat stretch. Draw the belly up and tuck in your chin. Lower the belly down and lift up your heart. Breathe in through the nose. Look towards your thighs. Breathe out through the mouth. Lift the heart, lift the ribs. And once more each way. And then as we come into the centre, we hold our neutral spine, toes tuck. When you're ready, push onto the balls of your feet and walk back with your hands or forward with your feet, whatever you feel is best. Elbows can rest straight onto your thighs or hands on the floor. Chin comes in, crown of the head, hands, shoulders, spine, all relaxed down. Gentle, nice big in-breath, bring the belly up towards the back. Breathe out, let the head feel a little heavier. In your own time, either walking the hands up the shins or let them hang as you slowly restack back up through each vertebrae. Keeping the chin tucked in, on your rise, and rolling the shoulders back, kick up the hips, my head is chopped off. So a little tuck at the bottom and just take a little wrap from side to side. Try and keep the weight into the heels, your bottom squeeze. So you're just feeling that rotation through the upper body. Oh, it's almost like a little fan cooling you down. And then as you come to the centre, shrug up your shoulders, take the in-breath, release your out-breath, and give yourselves a round of applause, ladies and gents. Well worked, and have a